building experiences for people that is like kind of like drawn to me, and I really enjoy doing that, which is why I kind of decided to like work on the interactive artwork space, because it's really like you are in the space and you can't copy and paste, you can't like take a photo, you have to be there to actually experience it.
They wanted it to be retro, which I had no idea what that meant. So I was like coming up with ideas with my friend who's working on it with me. He's doing the like interactive part of it. He's making an arcade game. And he and I were just kind of like bouncing ideas off, and I was like, I don't know what retro means. And he was like, I kind of think of an arcade. And I like really love painting animals. I don't know, I also like kind of like doing trippier things. Like it looks kind of trippy with the stars. And I like love surrealism.
The working title right now is called The Cloud, and it's basically a two-part experience. The first one is if you see this big cotton ball thing that we have going on right here, this is a prototype test of what we're imagining to build these very large-scale clouds on the Lakefill. So you imagine like taking 20 to 25 of these and kind of like putting it together to be one large structure, and you have this like huge cloud overhead that you kind of just sit and kind of just can look around and feel like you're almost immersed in the situation. And I was also thinking how music is also very expressive, and it's very, very easy to like get a lot out of like this simple arrangement of like, what, 32 keys? So I was thinking, okay, what if God had a keyboard? Like what might that look like, and what would that be like if he could almost control the weather using this keyboard? So in combination of both of those, we'll have an ambient mode where like people can walk under the clouds and like trigger lightning and thunder effects, and as well as control it directly from this keyboard. And the combination of the two and like building this space and making it feel like a cohesive experience is the goal.
All of these animals are on like the top 10 to top, I think, 100 endangered species list. I wanted to sort of do like a general theme of like environmentalism. The animals themselves are gonna play games that like pertain to them about like other environmental issues. So there's like fire frenzy and like plastic patrol.
The hardest part right now has kind of been cutting down and finding out where, like the intersection of like what we can do, what we should do, and like what would be the right thing to do. If the goal is to create the experience that's memorable, simplicity is almost the important part in that, because you don't want to do too much where it's almost an overburden on the user. You want it to be like quick, simple. You wanted to make it so you don't have to have any explanation or any basically rule book to this. People can go and build their own rules on top of the system you provide.
I started before spring break. I had like a week and a half to just like chill on campus, which was nice. And so I was basically here every single day that week and a half, just like kind of grinding on it from like, I don't know, 10 to like 6 p.m. And even then I like barely finished half of a panel.
And like the moments that kind of like make you feel like wow, life is kind of lit. Like I think that's the feeling I want to go across with this project. One of those really, really nice days on the Lakefill, and you go out and like it's warm, like the grass is like very green, and like the wind is blowing, so you can see the ripples in the grass, but it's not too much wind, or it feels like it's not. Those gnats aren't there because they're so annoying when they come out there. But the water is nice, like the sky is nice, and they can see and experience a space that they've experienced before, but in a different way. Even if it's just for 5 seconds, I think that would be success for me.